If you're a non-native English speaker, I'm going to guess you probably say they are without contracting it into one word. I hear that a lot from non-native English speakers, but native speakers always contract this when talking naturally. If you say they are, this will mark you as sounding foreign, and there's nothing wrong with sounding foreign. But if you want to talk more fluently and sound more confident and natural in English, using a contracted form like there can make a big difference. Hello, I'm a qualified English teacher with a degree in linguistics and phonetics, so I specialise in teaching pronunciation. I also run the app Spoken that you can use to practice speaking English. Okay, back to the lesson. The official pronunciation of this is there. But what native speakers actually say most of the time in real conversation is there. I'll give you some more detail about the pronunciation in a minute. But first, I want you to understand that saying there is not slang, it's not incorrect, and it's not lazy. It's how native speakers talk in any situation. Here are some examples.
I think they're fantastic.
They're professionals.
They're voting on the deal that I've negotiated.
They're all lovely.
That was fast, I know. Native speakers do pronounce contracted verbs very fast. I'll slow it down so you can listen better.
I think they're fantastic.
They're professionals.
They're voting on the deal.
They're fantastic.
They're voting on...
Now I'll explain the pronunciation in more detail. There. It's just the and a short eh sound. There. If you find difficult, I have another video about how to pronounce that, which I'll link below. There. It's a very short sound, so it's hard to demonstrate in isolation. Here are some phrases. They're going. They're going. They're going. They're looking. They're looking. They're looking. One other important thing, when the next word starts with a vowel, we add a r sound to transition between the two vowels. It's called an intrusive r sound. It appears because it's hard to separate two vowels that are next to each other. You make an intrusive r sound by gently tapping this part of the tongue against the roof of the mouth. They're early. They're early. They're only. They're only. They're only. If the intrusive r sound is difficult for you, don't worry about doing it. Even saying they're only sounds much more natural than they are only. Now you understand this, but that's only step one. Next, you need to practice, and then do some more practice so that it starts to feel very natural for you and you do it without thinking. I've put a list of sentences in the description that you can read out to practice. And even better than that, download the app I created called Spoken, where you can listen to these sentences with a gap after each one for you to repeat. Then you need to practice doing this in more spontaneous speech, where you're not just repeating. So do one of the speaking activities in Spoken, where you need to speak for 1 minute about a random topic. I have more videos about how to contract other verbs so that your English sounds more natural and more like a native speaker. So have a look at those too. The links are in the description.